Hi everyone, this is Marion from Newzik. We thought we'd do a video today to review some of the best page turners on the market. We all know that one of the best things about digital sheet music is that you can turn the pages hands-free, and for this you need a page turner. So we have a lot to review today, so let's get started. First off, we have the IK Multimedia iRig Blueturn. This is from an Italian brand that is well known for its software as well as hardware products. It's priced about 60 euros, about $70. It's quite cheap. It's one of the cheapest options. It's the one we use the most here at Newzik when we do some work with orchestras and operas, etc. Just because it's very sturdy, very durable pedal. It's got a solid plastic casing, and it's also very simple to use. It's a no fuss, no frills pedal. The way you turn it on is just by switching this button here, and there you go. Then you just have to pair it with your iPad or iPhone, and it works very well. Just very simple, page forward, page backwards. And it's powered by AAA batteries here at the bottom, which is quite nice because if you want to change them in an emergency situation, then you can do it very quickly by just putting some new batteries in. Of course, it's better to use rechargeable batteries just for the planet. One of the things we do not like too much about this pedal is the non-skid padding at the bottom. Unfortunately, it's not that efficient, so after a while it slips quite a lot, and we've had some complaints from musicians on stage. But other than that, it's a great pedal, very reliable at a low price point, so go for it. Next up, from the same brand, IK Multimedia, we have the iRig BlueBoard, which is a bit different. This is a MIDI pedal, which is very different from the Blueturn, which is an external keyboard. What it means is that you can use this one to control more stuff in Newzik or in external apps. For example, you can set these two buttons to do page left, page right, and these two to play or pause your media files or jump to the next or the previous piece, which can be quite handy. Of course, because it has 4 foot switches, it's a lot bigger. This is priced at about $100, sorry, 90 euros. And it's very similar to the Blueturn in its casing. It's plastic casing, pretty solid, pretty sturdy. It's got 2 input jacks, so that you can add some external controllers, such as an expression pedal, for example, if you to use in MIDI stuff. And it's powered by 4 AAA batteries here at the bottom. Next up, we have the Airturn Ped Pro. So this is the slimmest pedal in this review. It's very slim, as you can see, very thin, very light, very easy to carry around. So this is great if you gig a lot, for example. It's got a great non-skid padding at the bottom, which is great. It doesn't slip at all. Although I must say, this one that we got from Airturn, after a while, just a bit of use, this kind of peeled off, so it's not that great. It definitely doesn't feel as sturdy as the Blueturn, but it's a very good pedal. One good thing about this pedal is got the Air Direct mode, which is something that only Airturn pedals have, which means you can connect this pedal straight into the Newzik app. You don't have to go to the Bluetooth settings of your device. This is quite handy. This has 7 modes. Of course, you're not going to use all 7 modes if you just use this to turn pages, but the 7th mode is a MIDI mode, so you can add additional control to your pedal, which can be quite handy. So yeah, nice pedal from Airturn. Now on to the best seller from Airturn, the Airturn Duo, the BT200. This is a very good pedal. It's used by a lot of musicians around the world, and I can see why. It's a very good pedal, very reliable. It's got a lot of functionalities. It's packed with features, and it's also light, great to carry around, although a bit bigger, of course, than the Ped Pro. I like the foot switches a lot on this one. They feel very safe, very reliable, and they're placed quite wide apart, so you won't miss them, which is a concern that a lot of musicians have on stage, of course. It's powered by a micro USB. It's got a built-in battery, which is great, but it can also be a problem in emergency situations because you can't charge it in an emergency. It takes a bit of time to charge, but it's got very good autonomy, very good battery life, about 150 hours, and it's got 7 modes just like the Ped Pro, including MIDI, so a very good pedal from Airturn. Now on to the last one from Airturn, the last pedal in our review from this brand. This is the Airturn BT200 S-2. So it's the slimmest, well, it's the small version of the Duo. It's got pretty much the same features. I forgot to mention about the other two pedals, the Ped Pro and the Duos. They have, well, there's an app, an iOS app, which is called the Airturn Manager, which you can use to change the settings of your pedal, which is really, really useful. You can, for example, change the controls of these two foot switches. This one is very small, very sturdy, it feels sturdy, it's nice plastic casing, and it's powered with a 9-volt DC in, which is great if you use a pedal board, if you're a guitar player, for example, because you can fit in there very nicely. Now, the one problem with this pedal, and it's quite a big problem if you're a recording artist or a classical musician, is this. The foot switches are quite noisy, and this can be quite a problem. Of course, if you just play, well, if you play on stage and you don't really mind the noise, then it's completely fine and it's a great small pedal for your use. Another thing though is that these foot switches are quite, there's not much space in between them. So it's easy to miss them and to press both at once, which won't turn your page or won't turn the one you want. So just, yeah, be careful if you use the BT200 S-2. Next up, we have three pedals from Pageflip, the Butterfly, the Firefly, and the Dragonfly. I'll start with the simplest and cheapest one, the Pageflip Butterfly. It is still quite expensive at 98 euros, around $100, but it's a nice pedal. It's very simple, very straightforward, and it does what it's supposed to do. It's powered with two AA batteries here at the bottom. And the good thing about this one is the ergonomics. I really like the foot switches because they're very big, first of all, so hard to miss. They're placed quite wide apart, it's very nice, and they're at a low height, which is very comfortable for your feet. And well, this is the most important thing, isn't it? So very nice pedal from Pageflip Butterfly, from Pageflip, the Butterfly. Next one we have the Firefly, which is the big sister of the Butterfly. Now, I like this one a lot, and I know a lot of people do as well. They're very popular. Same thing, they're powered with AA batteries here, and the good thing about these ones is they have some backlights here, which can be very handy in low light situations, and you can switch them off if you don't want it, which is great. Switch them on and off here. You can also switch on and off the repeat function here, which basically turns more than one page, well, several pages at once if you keep pressed on one of the foot switches. And just like the Butterfly, these foot switches are very nice, very, very big, hard to miss, and very reliable. So this is a great pedal from Pageflip. Now the next one is the Dragonfly, which is the augmented version of the Firefly. So this one is pretty much the same, with a backlight that you can turn off and on and off, and a repeat function as well, but this one has two additional foot switches here, which is quite nice if you play with media files. For example, if you have backing tracks or music from Spotify, you can set these buttons to play or pause the media files without having to leave Newzik, which is really nice. And you can customize all of these controls, even with the Firefly as well, from the Pageflip app, which is unfortunately only a desktop app. Yeah, I kind of wish there was an iOS app for this, but still really nice. This is quite an expensive pedal at about 130 euros. Okay, next up on our list is the Stomp from Coda Music Technologies. This is a very sturdy pedal. It's a metal casing. It feels really robust, and it's a great looking pedal in my opinion. Just look at these blue lights, beautiful. It's a simple, straightforward page turner. The good thing about it is these buttons on top, you can switch on and off the repeat function very easily from here and change the modes very easily as well. One thing about this one is the foot switches. They are quite noisy. Just listen to this. Now, if you're a classical musician, if you're a recording artist, this can be a problem. But if you don't mind, then it's a great pedal, very sturdy. It's road ready, as they say. It is quite expensive. It's priced at about $130, 120 euros. which is quite expensive, but I suppose it will last you a long time. It is powered by a 9-volt battery inside. Keep in mind that if you run out of battery, it will take quite a while to replace it because you have to unscrew the bottom part of the casing. But you can also power it with a 9-volt DC in, so you can fit it in your pedal boards very easily. Now next up we have the Donner Page Turner. Now you might have seen this one, the same pedal but branded differently with a different name on it, different brand. I'm not quite sure why. I think it's just one of these Chinese pedals that have been changing names over the years. But nevertheless, it's a very nice pedal. It's quite cheap. You can get it for about 50 euros, about $70. It's a really nice pedal for the price. It feels very sturdy. It's got a metal casing. Really, really nice pedal. You can turn the repeat function on and off from the top of the pedal. It's got 5 different modes and it's powered through micro USB. It's got a built-in battery, which again is great, but has the disadvantage of not being able to being charged very quickly in emergency situations. The foot switches are quite nice. I like that they have this padding on top. It just feels nice under the feet, and it's a really good pedal, especially for this price. And finally, we have the Moukey, not quite sure how to pronounce it, the Moukey Page Turner. It is the cheapest option on this list in our review. It is priced at about 45 euros, about $50, which is very cheap. Of course, you get what you pay for, so it does feel quite cheap as well, but it is light and it does what it's supposed to do. The only problem with this is the foot switches. Although they're made of plastic, they are not silent. They are quite noisy. So again, this can be a problem in some situations. It is powered by a micro USB and it's got a repeat function as well, which can be handy. So if money is the first factor for you, then this can be a great buy if you don't mind the noise. Okay, thanks for watching. That's it for our overview of the Bluetooth page turners available on the market. So this was just an overview. If you want a more comprehensive review, go to our website newzik.com. There's a link in the description, probably a link around here as well. And we've written a comprehensive article about each one of these pedals with pros and cons for each one. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy using these pedals using Newzik.